More than 3 hours later, the doctor stood in the same cocktail lounge watching the space where, until a moment before, Miss Worthington had stood. The air was rich with a stink of roasted lemons, and wisps of ash floated from the ceiling. But only the doctor seemed in any way bothered by what had just taken place. "You disintegrated her," he said, appalled. "Yeah," said Dash. She's only a language these lot understand." The doctor blinked at him. "You disintegrated her," he said again. Dashel grinned. "You catch on quick," he said. The other Blenheim prisoners hurtled by the bay window, though not from fear. The doctor noticed they really didn't seem to give a stuff that Miss Worthington had just been killed, and that it might be any one of them next. He ran his hand through his thick hair, not caring that it probably made it stick up oddly. "Right," he said, addressing the Badger pirates. "Well, maybe before anyone else gets hurt, you can discuss what it is you lot want. From us, from the Brilliant, from life in general, if you like." He grinned at them. Dash regarded him coldly. "We got a mission," he said. "That's good," said the doctor. "Something to work towards. I like that." Dash nodded and said nothing further. The doctor could see he was going to need some prompting. "Your mission wouldn't be to pitch the Brilliant external drive, would it?" he said. The Badger stared at him. "Yes," said Archie. "No," said Dash at the same time. He glared at Archie, then said to the doctor, "It might be." "Figured," said the doctor. "It's what I'd be after if I was a pirate." Dash leered at him. "We aren't pirates," he said. "We're entrepreneurs." "Oh, right," said the doctor. "Sorry. I always get those two in the wrong way around. The pirates are the ones with the suits and the pink shirts, aren't they? Anyways, I'm thirsty. Aren't you a lot thirsty? What's with the entrepreneuring? Is there anywhere around here where we can get a drink?" He looked all around him quickly and then made out like he only had just seen the long bar that stretched down the side of the cocktail lounge. "Oh," he said, making his way over to intercept the menu, and the machine barman offered him a bar. "Brilliant. What you all having?" A long mirror hung behind the bar. In the reflection, the doctor could see the Badgers watching him uncertainly. He hopped to wrong foot them, keep their attention on him, stop them killing any more of the Blenheim prisoners. "Come on," he said. When the Badgers made no move to name the drinks they wanted, "It's my round. I'm gonna have the blue one." He pointed to the Brinca juice on the menu. "One of those, please," he asked the barman. The machine barman smoothly retrieved the Brinca fruit from the bowl, extracted the shiny blade with skinny arms, and in a blur of quick, precise activity, chopped the fruit into teeny pieces. "You want to watch this guy at work," the doctor told the Badgers. "And it's like an art or something." Archie came over to join him at the bar. Rather than choosing a drink, he propped the doctor in an arm with one of those long, jagged claws. "Ow," said the doctor. "We bored of cocktails," said Archie, making it sound like a threat. Perhaps, though, the doctor, they weren't allowed to drink while they were out rampaging. These things had to have certain disciplines, didn't they? "That's the point," he said. "I think I'm bored of them too." He holds on the juice, barman. And the machine had long stopped chopping and now stood perfectly still, poised with a glass of thick blue liquid in the metal hands. He took the doctor's command entirely literally, and held on to the glass until someone told it otherwise. Machines, though, the doctor could see dim like that. He turned to Archie. "So," he said breezily, "what else is there that isn't cocktails?" Archie grinned at him. "We got campaigns," he said. Sure enough, a tray full of elegant finger food. had laid out at the other end of the bar by the bay window. "Core," said the doctor. "They do look exciting, don't they?" He leaned closer to Archie around the conspiratorial whisper. "Which one would you recommend?" Archie considered. "The ones with the sticks," he said. "They're good." The doctor scratched his chin as he nodded, considering the advice. He made his way slowly to the other end of the bar, and looking up to make sure Archie was still watching, took one of the cheese and pineapple sticks, then tried to put the whole thing in his mouth. Alarmed, Archie hurried over. "You don't eat the stick," he said. The doctor removed the cheese and pineapple stick from his mouth and scrunched it closely, as if trying to make sense of its working. If it doubt, he thought, always play it stupid, and put people, as he hoped, badger-faced pirates at their ease. "Like this," said Archie, grabbing his own cheese and pineapple stick. The doctor watched him as he nimbly ate the pineapple from the cheese from around the stick, and then he did his best to copy the procedure, careful to make it look like he never done this before. If he could put Archie at ease, make him drop his guard. One chunk of pineapple escaped him, slipping down his chin and slapped under the carpet between his trainers. "Oops," said the doctor. "It's pretty tricky, this." "Yeah," said Archie, helping him to another cheese and pineapple stick. "Archie," growled Dash, still at the door, back into the ballroom, still brandishing his heavy gun. "I said no more. You'll be sick." "I don't feel sick," said Archie. "Do what Dash says," growled Joss. The doctor wanted Archie to put his cheese and pineapple stick away in the tray behind them. He turned back to say something to Dash, and then a sudden thought struck him. He looked back at the tray on the cheese and pineapple sticks were crowded. There was no space to fit any more in the tray. There were no empty spaces from the 2 cheese and pineapple sticks that he and Archie had eaten. He glanced up at the robot barman, still on the other end of the bar, still holding the glass of Brinca juice until someone told it not to. It had not nibbled over the top to the cheese and pineapple sticks. The doctor looked again at the tray and around it and fitting on the bar. No, he could discern no transmat technologies or any other clever doodads in which automatically replenish the tray. "Good, in it?" said Archie. "Very good," said the doctor. "And no matter what you eat, the food just keeps coming." "Yeah," said Archie. "Ain't we eaten a lot?" "True, dear," said Miss Wingsworth, as she walked into the cocktail lounge, brushing past Dash and Josh. "They've been gorging themselves for hours." "You?" snarled Dash. "Get with the others." "Yes, dear," said Miss Wingsworth, in a mocking sing-song voice. Dash and Josh kept their guns trained on her, but didn't seem surprised to see her. Neither noted the doctor did the other Burman prisoners. Said the doctor. "I don't mean to be rude, but I didn't see you die. Didn't I see you die?" "Oh, that," said Miss Wingsworth, battling the tentacle at him like his question was some sort of irksome insect. "It's annoying," growled Archie. "Yes, it's a bit of a nuisance, isn't it?" agreed Miss Wingsworth. "Every time they shoot one of us down, we just wake up in our brains. It's an outrage, you know." "I can imagine," said the doctor, baffled. "Well, that's really not what we were promised," Miss Wingsworth continued. "We meant to be first class and were given us teeny specks." She was talking about the breasts. The doctor realized not about having been killed. "She's got a point," said Archie. "And I have more room to myself on the ship." "Well, it's part of the experience," said the doctor. "Bits of discomfort to sharpen your senses. I'm sorry it's Miss Wingsworth, isn't it? I didn't know the boom had regenerative powers like that." "No," said Miss Wingsworth. "Well, they do say schools of dumpling down, don't they?" "Bit of Swiss, if you ask me," said Archie. "You kill someone, they should stay killed. Yeah, agreed Dash from the other end of the door. That's more the reason why you shouldn't kill anyone, chided the doctor, isn't it? I'd like to know what my Uncle Child would have made of it, said Miss Wingsworth airily. He was a famous consultant, you know. Treated the Yemenian ambassador, Mr. Sutton, was quite something at the time, and he was very interested in this sort of thing. I think he even wrote about it. I'll have to look that up, said the doctor. When I was a spare moment, I thought I can probably guess what he concluded. He looked at Miss Wingsworth up and down quickly, and again battled him away with the tentacle. Speed of the recovery like that, you probably got a nifty gift of remangelling nerve fibers at a rate of nodding. Obviously, really, isn't it? If you say so, dear, said Miss Wingsworth. You just disintegrated them, said Archibald slowly, and they get better. The doctor grinned. That's the gist of it, yeah. I'm glad you're keeping up. Must be a characteristic of bowmen, but I've never heard of it before. Is there a way to kill them? Asked Joss, so they don't come back. No idea, said the doctor, and I'm not sure I want to find out. You're boring, said Archie. Well, maybe I am, but at least I don't go around killing people for no very good reason. They're quite indestructible, brutish, said Miss Worthington. No manners whatsoever. I'm warning you, began Dash angrily. Oh, what are you possibly going to threaten me with next year, said Miss Wingsworth lightly. You stand there with your great big gun, and yet we both know you're completely impotent. Hang on, said the doctor quickly, putting himself between Dash and Miss Worthington before things truly turned ugly again. Miss Wingsworth, in all due respect, that's not really helping, said Dash. You know it does no good to kill her. Let's not waste everyone's time. And Dash and other two badgers growled at him, but since they did not say anything that looked like they took his point. Miss Wingsworth clearly wasn't used to being talked to like that either, so she too yielded with woman's grace. Good, said the doctor. Now we're in a bit of a pickle, aren't we? We would have evaporated further, got the pirates and the prisoners working together, and work out what's about to happen to the Brilliant. Archie interrupted, muttering something gruffly under his breath. The doctor turned to him wildly. What is it? He asked nothing, said Archie. No, what? It was definitely something, so the doctor spit it out. Everyone can hear. Archie glanced at the bachelor comrades, but they weren't going to help him with it. Well, he told the doctor, it's in a embarrassed tone. It was just different with the girl. That girl? The doctor beamed. Archie, you met my friend Martha? Yeah, said Archie proudly. She was good. Oh, said the doctor, she's better than good. Yeah, said Archie. Well, we killed her. She knew to stay dead. More than 3 hours earlier, Martha had stood in the same cocktail lounge watching the space where until a moment before Miss Worthington had stood. The air was rich with a stink of roasted lemons, and wisps of ash floated off the ceiling. Martha felt sick to her stomach. That was murder, she said coldly. Yeah, said Archibald, but he saw the horror in her eyes and looked quickly away. She had it coming, Dashwood gruffly. Anyone else want to be difficult? The alien prisoners quivered in the fright, not daring to respond. Dashwood seemed delighted, and he growled at them and jabbed his gun at them, each time getting them to scream. Ha, he said, this is good. Let him kill one, Dash, said Jocelyn, coming to his side. Go on, Archie. You gotta kill one. You can't, said Martha. I didn't mean to kill one, said Archibald quickly, still looking guilty. Yeah, you did, said Jocelyn. That was good. Yeah, agreed Archibald, though he didn't seem convinced. Martha saw him. He kept glancing at her, keen for her approval. All right, said Dashel. Which one you want to kill? They then shrieked in terror at Jocelyn. Looking over them, she decided the pale blue male, who wore several watches on his left tentacle. "Please," said Martha, "we'll cooperate." "There's nothing to operate," said Dashiell, seeming pleased with himself at using such a long word. "Get on with it, Joss." Jocelyn grinned as she pulled the trigger and the pale blue alien vanished in the brilliant pink light. Martha didn't think. She just ran forward and grabbed the gun from Jocelyn's paw. Startled, Jocelyn let go and fell back, and then quickly took cover behind Dashiell. Martha covered them both with Jocelyn's gun. "What are you going to do?" snarled Dashiell, without any of fear. "There's 100 of us coming." "They're not coming," said Martha. "You know you're on your own." She tried to wield the gun, but she knew what she was doing with it, though she really didn't. "They are," said Dashiell, and she could see the fear in his eyes as he took a step towards her. "Don't do it, Dash," said Archie. He stood to Martha's left, his gun aimed at her. He didn't look like any more confident in using it than she felt about hers. "I don't want to hurt anybody," she said, backing away from them. Maybe she could get behind the bar, use it for cover, or back in the wall. She could circle around, get over the door, far corner of the cocktail lounge. "No, you don't," Dashiell told her, and he took another cautious step nearer. "Because you hurt us, and we haven't hurt you anymore." "Keep back," she told him, her voice more shrill than she would have liked it. "I mean it." Dashiell did as he was told, the gun still on her, Jocelyn cowering on the far side of him. Archibald kept looking over at them in the back of Martha. He could keep his feet still. There were children, thought Martha, red-faced children dressed up as pirates. But their game had gone too far. "We can talk about this," she told them, "like grown-ups." Dashiell considered. "Yeah," he said slowly, lowering his gun. Behind him, Miss Wingsworth sauntered into the cocktail lounge, waving her cheery tentacle. "Hello, dears," she cooed. Her flesh was dark and patchy, showing long healed scars, but Martha had seen her completely consumed by this disintegrated pink light. The badgers turned around and stared at her just in amazement as Martha. "It's impolite to gawp at someone," said Miss Wingsworth uncomfortably. "I expected better from you at least, Martha." "Sorry," said Martha. She took a step back, bumped her bum into the bar, and stumbled forward. Before she could do anything, Archibald had rushed forward and snatched Jocelyn's gun from her hands. Martha tried to snatch it back, but Archibald moved quickly out of the reach. She looked around, but the only thing to hand she had a tray of cheese and pineapple sticks. Bob grinned, Dash, raising the gun at her. "Wait," said Martha desperately. "Ah, wait," said Archibald loyally. "Oh, I wouldn't worry about it, dear," said Miss Wingsworth. "It's over very quickly." "Shut up," said Dashiell. "I'm going to do this." "But I surrender," said Martha. "Yeah," said Archibald. "You gotta kill someone," Dashiell told him. "And Joss did the blue one. It's your turn, ain't it?" He aimed the gun. "All this bother," said Miss Wingsworth. Martha grabbed the tray behind her, hurled it all at the cheese and pineapple sticks at Dashiell, and made a break for the door. But Dashiell sauntered at the descending niblets. Jocelyn pounced from behind him, wrestling Martha to the ground. Martha fought back, biting and kicking where she could, but Jocelyn was tougher and more vicious. Her hairy face, coarse like the old toothbrush, and that pinned Martha to the floor. "All right," admitted Martha, whined. Jocelyn nodded and smiled and clambered off her. Martha pruned the brush carpet and the completely empty silver tray face down beside her, looked up at Dashiell's eyes as he stood over her. The gun was pointed at her face. He hesitated savorously for the moment. Martha sat up, leaning on her elbows, refusing to show fear. "Go on then," she said bitterly. "Yeah," he said. "Don't," said Archibald, but Dashiell had already squeezed the trigger. Martha grabbed the empty silver tray and held it between her and the gun. Fierce pink light hit the tray so hard that she nearly let go. But despite her heart staring her fingers. She hung on for dear life, and then the blast of light was over. She lowered the tray, her hands shaking from the oversight of her fingers raw with pain. "Drat," said Dashiell as he raised the gun again. Jocelyn seemed to reach out a paw and stop him. Strange look on her face. She saw her paw away, and Jocelyn lost her balance, toppling over, hitting the floor hard. Steam curled up her unmoving body. "Ha," said Dashiell. "You shot deer." "You're shot, dear," said Miss Wingsworth from over by the door. "It bounced off Martha's shield and hit your friend." She tutted again. It was only a glancing blow, but I think it was enough. Martha stared at Jocelyn's dead body, aware now of what the auritic bonfire stink, and looked up at Dashiell. He seemed frozen where he stood. She felt awful for him. She knew she couldn't wait. As Dashiell felt her knees beside Jocelyn's body, Martha got quickly to her feet and made a dash for the doors. She still had a tray of raw, throbbing hands. "Dash," she heard Archibald say behind her. "Go after her," said Dashiell quietly. "It's Joss." "Go after her," Dashiell yelled, not thinking where she was going or what she had done. Martha raced through the ballroom towards the staircase. She took the stairs 2 at a time, but she knew she couldn't outrun Archibald. The pirates were widely through the strong and had nowhere to escape to. She ran down the corridor, knowing that it was useless. The door to the engine room was still blocked with a cold scrambled egg, and there was no sign of the doctor. She turned around. Archibald stood at the end of the corridor, cradling his gun. He pointed at her and then lowered it again. "Don't like this," he told her. "You don't have to do what he tells you," said Martha. "They do stuff if I don't," he said, making his way slowly towards her. "But you don't know it isn't right," Martha said. She glanced back the doorway and the cold scrambled eggs, hoping against all hope that the doctor would step through it. When she turned to Archibald again, he stood right up close to her. His cat foot, when breathed hot, was stinky of her face. "Well then," she said with the same sexy voice she tried on him before. "Yeah," said Archibald nervously. He glanced down at her. "I like those." She looked down at her hands. The silver tray was laden with cheese and pineapple sticks. "Take one," she said. Archibald grinned at her and reached out. She hit him hard in the face with the tray. He dropped his gun, staggered back, and she kicked him with all her might. Archibald fell back and caught her foot and brought her down with him. They scrabbled on the floor, Martha biting and kicking for her life. Archibald didn't fight back, but she knew he was confused. Maybe he didn't fancy her exactly, but she got something over him. And she used that. She used that to escape, and felt a sudden hot pain in her gut, and then she could not breathe. Looking down, she saw a dagger Archibald had thrust it into her stomach. "Ugh," she said to him, all she could manage, and then she died.